Okay, so now let us discuss next point, that is maximal and minimal elements. Okay, maximal and minimal elements. Okay, so what definition they have given for maximal and minimal element is, see, an element small a belongs from capital A is called as a maximal element if there is no element small b belongs from capital A such that B not equal to A. Okay, and A must be less than equal to B. Okay, an element C belongs from capital A is called as minimal element. Now here minimal element given. Okay, minimal element if there is no element small d belongs from A such that D not equal to C and D less than equal to A. Okay. Now actually see, from definition it looks like this point is confusing. Okay, but actually this point is very easy for understanding. Okay, just like our previous example, here see, here we have taken an example of one Hasse diagram. This is one Hasse diagram. With the help of this example, we will try to discuss what is maximal element and what is minimal element. Okay, now see, in our earlier example we have already discussed how to draw Hasse diagram. Okay, so here I have just taken one example of Hasse diagram. If you want to find maximal and minimal elements of this Hasse diagram, then see, element which are present at the top, element which are present at the top. So how many elements are there at the top? Two elements, A and E. A, E. They are called as what? They are called as maximal element. They are called as maximal element. And elements which are present at the bottom in the Hasse diagram, that is C and F in this case, they are called as minimal element. Okay, so in short, see, if you want to find maximal and minimal element, then you have to first draw Hasse diagram, and from that Hasse diagram, whatever elements which are present at the top, those elements are called as maximal element, and elements which are present at the bottom, that element is called as, those elements are called as minimal element. Okay, now one more term I just want to discuss here, that is upper bound and lower bound. Okay, now let us read definition of upper bound. Let small a and small b be an element in a poset A comma partial ordered relation. This symbol we have already discussed earlier. Okay, A comma partial ordered relation. This is commonly called as poset. Okay, and element C is said to be an upper bound of small a and small b if A less than equal to C and B less than equal to C. Okay, and element C is said to be least upper bound of A and B if C is an upper bound of A and B and there is no other upper bound D of A and B such that D less than equal to C. Don't worry, we will discuss this with the help of example as well. Okay, but I'm just going to read definition, theoretical definition. Okay, similarly, an element E is said to be a lower bound of A and B if E is less than equal to A and E is less than equal to B, and E is called as greatest lower bound of A and B if there is no other lower bound F of A and B such that E less than equal to F. Okay, now here four different terms they have covered: upper bound, least upper bound, lower bound and greatest lower bound. Okay, now let us discuss this particular concept with the help of example. Okay, now here see, now here I am going to draw one Hasse diagram. I am going to draw one Hasse diagram. Okay, so let me draw Hasse diagram. Okay, suppose here there is one element B. Okay, then suppose this is A and this is F. Okay, and then suppose this is C, then E, and at the top suppose D is there, D. Okay, so let me draw edges. How to draw Hasse diagram we have already discussed earlier. Okay, so I have just taken one example here. Okay, for better understanding of upper bound and lower bound concept. Okay, now see, if we want to find, suppose upper bound, how many vertices are there now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Now this is a Hasse diagram. From Hasse diagram we have to found upper bound, lower bound, least upper bound and greatest lower bound. Okay. Now suppose if we want to find, suppose upper bound of suppose C and E, where C and E is there, this is C and E. What is the upper bound of C and E? Upper bound means the element which is present at the top, okay, that is D, and this D is associated with this C and E. So what is upper bound of C and E? It is D in this case. Okay. Now if you want to find the lower bound of C and E, lower bound of C and E, this is what D is, what upper bound. If I want to find suppose lower bound of C and E, then obviously you have to find elements which are present at the bottom side of C and E. So how many elements are present at the bottom side of C and E? B is there, then A and F is there. Okay. So what is lower bound of C and E? C and E, lower bound A, B, F. A, B and F. Okay. Now if the question is like, suppose we have to find greatest lower bound of C and E. This is what? This is lower bound only. A, B, F. So one more concept is there, that is greatest lower bound. It is short. In short, we mention it like this: GLB, greatest lower bound of suppose C and E. If we want to find greatest lower bound of C and E, then in that case it is C. Lower bound of C and E are what? A, B and F. And if you want to find greatest lower bound, then immediate lower vertices you have to find, that is B. So in this case it is B. So lower bound, in lower bound of C and E, all we have to include, and in greatest lower bound, immediate next vertices, that is B. So here in upper bound of C and E, what we find? D. So similarly, if you want to find least upper bound, LUB, least upper bound of C and E, upper bound of C and E, what we got? D. And if you want to find least upper bound, then immediate next, so that is D only. So least upper bound is also D for C and E. Getting this point? Okay. Now suppose from this particular diagram, suppose let us take one more example. Suppose I want to find upper bound of A and F. Where is A? This is A and F. Okay. What we have to find now? Upper bound. Means A and F are there. So we have to include all elements which are present at top of A and F. So how many elements are there? B, C, E and D. So upper bound of A and F will include what? B, C, E and D. Okay. If you want to find least upper bound, LUB of A and F. Okay. Here this is and A and F. Least upper bound means immediate top. So this will just include what? Upper bound will include all top, and least upper bound will include immediate next upper. That is B only. Okay. And if you want to find lower bound of A and F. Where is A and F? A and F are at the bottom. So no lower bound exists. No lower bound exists. Okay. For A and F, because A and F are already at the bottom. Okay. Now if you want to find upper bound of B and D, suppose next example we'll take. If we want to find upper bound of B and D. Okay. Where is B? This is B and this is D. So if you want to find upper bound of B and D, then what we have to find? Then what we need to find? That is See, where B is present at this position, okay, and where D is present, D is at this position. So obviously upper bound which is present at the top out of this B and D, that is D only. So upper bound of B and D is D, okay. Least upper bound, if you want to find least upper bound of B and D, this is upper bound. Now if you want to find least upper bound, then B and D least upper bound is D only, okay, because they are present at two different locations, okay. Now if you want to find lower bound of B and D, so this is B, this is D. So lower bound of B and D will include C, B and D. So elements which are present below B, also it will just include B as well. So lower bound of B and D will include what? B, A and F. B, A and F. This is B, this is D. Lower bound will include A. Sorry. Lower bound of B will include A, F and B. A, F and B. Okay. And greatest lower bound of, if you want to find greatest lower bound of B and D, then this will be B. Okay. So here we cover four different terms: upper bound, lower bound, least upper bound and greatest lower bound. Okay. So if you find it difficult, pause this video, observe this diagram, okay, and practice at your own. Okay. Now let us discuss one more point, that is lattice. Lattice. Okay, let us read definition of lattice. A lattice is a poset. Lattice is one type of poset. What is poset? We have already discussed. Okay. L, this is partial ordered relation in which every subset A comma B of L has least upper bound and greatest lower bound. Okay, means if in poset for every subset there exists least upper bound and greatest lower bound, then that is called as lattice. If you want example, see, this is example of lattice. Here diagram is given. Okay, this is actually poset, but we have to check whether this poset is lattice or not. So if you want to check it, then for any pair there must have least upper bound and greatest lower bound. See, if we take B and D, what is least upper bound? Least upper bound is C and greatest lower bound is A. Okay. If we take A and D, what is least upper bound? D and greatest lower bound A. If we take B and A, what is least upper bound? That is B and greatest lower bound A. If we take A and C, what is least upper bound? C and greatest lower bound is A. So here if we take any two vertices, then for any two vertices we are getting least upper bound as well as greatest lower bound. That's why this poset is what? This poset is lattice. So you have to remember definition of lattice. Okay. Then now we have to discuss two more points, that is lattice operator and non-distributive lattice. Okay. So let us discuss the description given for the lattice operator. See, let L partial ordered relation be a lattice for any pair of elements small a comma small b belongs from L, denotes least upper bound of A and B by this symbol A or B, and greatest lower bound of A and B by A and B. Okay, so A or B, this is called as join operator. Okay, and A and B, this is called as meet operator. Meet operator. Okay, actually two different operators we are using in case of lattice. First one is join and second one is meet. Join is denoted by using or, meet is denoted by using and join is nothing but that is least upper bound. Okay, and meet is nothing but that is greatest lower bound. So you have to remember this point. Join, see, let me mention here. Okay, so how to find least upper bound? Least upper bound we have already discussed earlier. So least upper bound is denoted by using symbol, this symbol. Okay, or symbol. Suppose A or B. Okay, and this operator is called as what? This operator is called as join operator. Okay, and greatest lower bound is denoted by using this symbol, and symbol, and this is called as what? Meet operator. Meet operator. So join and meet are nothing but least upper bound and greatest lower bound, and they are denoted by using or and. Okay. Now I hope you are getting this particular point. Okay. One more term is there, that is non-distributed lattice. Non-distributed lattice. Okay. What is non-distributed lattice? Okay. What is non-distributed lattice is if your lattice follows distributive does not follow. Okay, sorry. If your lattice does not follow distributive law, then that lattice is called as non-distributed lattice. If lattice does not follow distributive law, then it is called as non-distributive lattice. Non-distributive lattice. Okay. Now here see, one example of non-distributive lattice is given. This is example of non-distributive lattice. Distributive law means, I hope you remember distributive law. Okay. So distributive law is nothing but, this is distributive law. A and B or C is equal to A and B, okay, or A and C. This is distributive law. Okay. Now here see what they have done. This is one Poset Hasse diagram is drawn. Okay. Here B and C or D. What we are getting? C. This or means what I said. This or means least upper bound. Okay. C and D, least upper bound. C. Where is C? C and D. Least upper bound of C and D. C and D least upper bound is what? E. Okay. So this expression, this particular expression will become like C and this is least upper bound. So C and D least upper bound is E. So finally this will become B and E. So and actually see, let me explain this properly. What is the left side? Left side of distributive law, that is B and C or D. Okay, C or D. Okay. Now here what I said, this is or means join, or means least upper bound, and this is and means meet, and meet means greatest lower bound. Okay. So in this case, join means least upper bound. So here this or means what? This is least upper bound. Okay. So what is least upper bound of C and D? C and D is given here. Least upper bound is E. So this expression will become like B and E. Getting this point? And means what? In this case, lattice greatest lower bound. So B and E. What is greatest lower bound of B and E? Where is B? This is B and this is E. B and E. Greatest lower bound of B and E is what? This is B. Okay. So what is the final output that we are getting for the left hand side? This is left hand side. Okay. And now let us check right hand side. So what will be right hand side of this distributive law? Here if we apply distributive law on this, then what will get? B, C and C. Okay. Then or B and D. Getting my point? And this and is nothing but this is what? This is greatest lower bound, and or means least upper bound. So what is greatest lower bound of B and C? Where is B? B and C. So greatest lower bound of B and C, B and C, lower bound is A. So here we'll get A, then or, and what is greatest lower bound of B and D? Where is B? This is B and D. So B and D, lower bound we are getting A only. Okay, and this or is nothing but that is least upper bound. So what is least upper bound of A on both side A is there. So on least upper bound of A is A only. Okay. So on left hand side here what we have got B, and on right hand side we got A. Okay. So here distributive law does not satisfy, and because of that reason this particular lattice is an example of non-distributive lattice. Okay, you have to remember this example because so many times they have asked this question in final paper. Okay.